I've seen people double their income, switch careers with ease, and even thrive in side hustles that they built just because they mastered these 7 skills. Hi, I'm Varsha, and I'm an HR professional practicing HR for over 12 years now in the IT industry. And today I'm going to walk you through 7 high leverage evergreen skills that will pay you for your lifetime, and you have to just learn them once. The first and most important skill, no matter what you do, is communication. And no, I do not mean speaking in English or speaking with absolutely zero grammatical error. Communication is not just about that. I am talking about number one, presenting your ideas clearly. The other person should be able to understand what you are trying to convey. The thought that is originated in your head, if you are capable of making the other person understand it in the exact manner, doesn't matter which language you use, what slang you use, what grammatical errors you do, it doesn't matter, as long as you are able to communicate the right picture which originated in your head and the other person gets just that, you are a winner in communication. Two, speaking with confidence, especially in meetings. If you are in a 9 to 5 and if you are doing business, then you should be able to speak confidently in front of your clients, or whenever you market your product, or whenever you have to in general present yourself or the services or the product. Confidence is the key, not because it's a measure of your capabilities, but because if you do not sound confident, then people will not buy into your opinion. Whatever you are saying, if you are not confident about that thing, then how the other person is supposed to believe that thing or buy into that product or buy into that services. So whatever you are saying, say it firmly with confidence and in a way that you believe it. Number three, writing in a way that it gets a response, be it your messages, your emails, or whatever you are doing which is related to the business, the job, or whatever services you're providing. It's very important that you write in a way that it gets response. I see a lot of people getting caught up in the idea of using complex words. I don't know for what. Maybe they want to sound as if they know a lot of English, even if English is not their first language. First of all, nobody uses complex word in their day-to-day communication. I mean, if the other person to whom you are sending the email, the written communication, whatever way, message, whatever way, if the other person is not able to make sense out of it, is not able to understand it easily, then your complex, advanced English words are useless. I mean, you are not coming across some VIP by using those words. Make your communication, be it written or verbal, sound very simple so that the other person can understand it. Just stick to simplicity. And another very important point in communication, which most of the people ignore, including myself, I learned it really late. A good communication means that you have to have difficult conversations without being emotional or passive aggressive about it. I mean, you do not react, you respond. You use your brain in that very moment and you respond without being attached to whatever being said to you. So it works beautifully in corporate setup, and I'm sure, because I've not done business, but I'm sure it works there as well beautifully, because in business as well you are dealing with people. So wherever you are dealing with people, it's very important that you respond without being too emotional. And why? Because if you are emotional or you are being passive aggressive, the way you respond, your body language, your tone, your pitch of talking, everything will change, and it will impact the value of the message that you want to convey. And we do not want to do that, because good communication is not about that. Good communication is about communicating your thoughts the best possible way. I want to give you one example here. So very recently I posted one post on my LinkedIn about why people add their ex companies in their title. I mean, the headline, the first text line that you see on the profile of people, mostly it's written X Amazon, X Microsoft, X Google, X XYZ. So I wrote my opinion about that thing and how I find it weird that people associate their identity, their worth with these X companies. So I wrote about it and it resonated with a lot of people. But there was a viewer who didn't really agree with what I had to say in the post. So that person commented. I'll put a screenshot somewhere on the screen so that you can read. It's very much available on my LinkedIn, so you can actually see it on the platform as well. Basically, I was trying to tell him that why I think the way I think. That's all. I wasn't trying to change his perception. Obviously, we all can have different opinions. Towards the end of that conversation, that person mentioned that you have handled the conversation so maturely, so wisely. You could have easily got offended with the way I wrote or whatever I said. When I read that, I was like, to me, that's a second nature now, because I have been working on my communication since very long. And what I did in that conversation wasn't something really great. It's just that I was responding with a presence of mind. I wasn't getting emotional about what he has to say. Without even realizing or attempting for it, I got a space in the memory of that person as a mature and wise person, just because I handled that communication nicely. That is the skill that will distinguish you from million of other people. So invest your time and energy in this skill, and if required, money as well, because once you do, you'll never be invisible again. Second most important skill is sales. I know what you are thinking, because I used to think that way for a very long period of time. That sales has nothing to do with me. I am a HR. I work in 9 to 5s. I'm not into sales. So sales is not for me. It's not a relevant skill. Sales is for someone who are trying to sell something, like the people who try to sell credit cards or try to sell offers, or maybe, or like when you walk into a mall, they're trying to sell you some vacuum cleaner or some bizarre product. So you get the idea. But my friend, sales is everybody's business. I mean, if you do not know how to sell, you cannot be successful, because it's everywhere. You cannot escape it. Even if you're giving an interview, you are trying to sell your skills, you are trying to sell your capability, your potential to the employer. And when you're able to convince the employer that you are the right person for the job, they hire you. It's kind of a sales only. And even with this video, it's kind of a sales only. I'm trying to convince you to listen to me, listen to my ideas and what I think about various topics. I'm trying to convince you to click on the thumbnails that I put out on YouTube platform. It's all sales. So every one of us should be able to sell things, services, products, skills without being pushy or without coming across as very salesy person. And if you have been avoiding it, thinking it has nothing to do with you, think again. Because people who know how to sell well, they get promotions faster, they land high paying jobs, and they close high paying freelance projects. So you need to learn how to talk about your achievements without sounding like you're bragging. You need to learn how to ask for a raise or pitch for a project. And you need to learn how to influence others to see your point of view without being too aggressive or emotional about it. This particular skill will change your relationship with money and opportunities forever. Skill number 3 is critical thinking. Now, most of us have used this word critical thinking on our resumes or somewhere in our life, but do you really know what does it mean? And no, it's not some good looking word that you just throw in emails or in meetings or on your resume. It is a real term, it has a real meaning, and if you master it, nobody will be able to beat you. Critical thinking is the opposite of jumping on conclusions really fast or always looking for somebody to tell you that what to do, what needs to be done. Companies these days are not looking for just doers, or if you are just a doer, you are just executing what is written somewhere in the process, then you'll not be able to scale in your life much. I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to break your heart, but those people never ever earn high. I mean, exceptions are everywhere, but in general, those people do not scale well in their careers. Companies are looking for people who can solve problems, who do not always need somebody to tell them what needs to be done. And how do you know if you can think critically? Ask yourself, can you analyze the situation without bias, or can you ask right questions? And most importantly, can you identify what's actually broken in the system and offer the solution for that rather than just complaining, always complaining. So here I'll give you one example so that you get some idea. And this example is from my own experience, as because I've seen plenty of critical thinkers in my journey so far. So I'm talking about this particular person in a company I worked for. So whenever this person would walk up to us as an HR team or to the management with any problem, he would also suggest at least 3-4 solutions or work around that problem. This shows that the person is not only interested in criticizing and complaining, the person is genuinely thinking about the problem and is trying to offer solution as well, and now has come to the management that this is the problem, this is the solution that I think can be done around it, so let me know what is the best that you can approve. I mean, how amazing is that? Wouldn't you want to hire such an employee in your team? I mean, I will love to have such an employee in my team. So it's very rare to find people like these, and believe me, if you are one of them, you will climb the ladder really quickly, because everybody needs problem solver. Nobody is looking for the people who always complain, because it's very easy to complain. It's very easy to criticize without thinking about solution around that problem. So if you can be that person who solves problem, who think critically, who is not making judgments with unconscious bias, if you can do all of that, you will shine in your career. Our next skill on the list is personal branding. And no, it's not only about influencers on YouTube or people who got LinkedIn top voice tag on LinkedIn platform. It's not only about that. Whether you are aware or you are not aware, you already have a personal brand. Every single one of us has a personal brand. So personal brand is your reputation. Your personal brand is your reputation. It is what people say about you when you are not in the room. And especially in today's world, which is highly online, highly digital, it's very important that you leverage these platforms. And even if you're not posting continuously, even if you're adding few pieces of content here and there about you or what you think about any ongoing situation scenario in the industry, maybe what you think about the latest Microsoft layoff, you can share your views, or what you think about your job that you're doing, what you think about the upcoming skill technology taking over the industry. So share your opinions, and that can give you an instant edge, because then people will perceive you accordingly. Online, you have this advantage that you can build your personal brand the way you want it. For example, I want to be perceived as HR expert, and all my services are designed around that. So I will add pieces of content which reflects that. And because I'm adding the content only basis that, so that will help people get a perception which is in line with what I want to achieve. So that's a huge benefit. Hope I'm making sense. So do not miss out on this, because opportunities will knock your doors accordingly. I'll give you one more recent example that happened. I got reminded. So I was trying to hire for an editor for my videos for a very long time. I don't have one. So you can suggest if you have any. So I got few emails from people who edit, and to one of them I asked that, can you please share your LinkedIn profile? And the person was like, why you need my LinkedIn profile? But here is the link, you can check. First, I was surprised with the question that why I need to visit the LinkedIn profile. Second, when I visited the LinkedIn profile, it didn't match with the identity that he was trying to showcase to me, that is of an editor. So I did not give the opportunity to that person. And there were few other things that were very obvious from the LinkedIn profile, and that's how I filtered the profile. I did not go ahead with that person. So I just want to say that if you want to attract better jobs, roles, freelancing opportunities, even media opportunities, then make sure that you have a solid online presence, because opportunities will knock at your door accordingly. And if you are not doing it already, if you are not trying to build your personal brand consciously, then you will miss out on a lot of opportunities that you can otherwise get. Next skill on the list is networking. As a HR, I can tell you that most people network or try to network when they need a job. I get so many messages from people from whom I've never heard before, who never engage with my content. They reach out and straight away the message would be, this is my resume and I'm looking out for a job. Can you get me a job? I mean, what kind of networking is that? And who will help you like that? That is absolutely useless message. It is as good as not sending a message. So please do not waste your time finding jobs like that. Networking with people on daily basis is so important, so that when eventually you need something, they are there to help you. And it's not that I only get those kind of messages. I know a lot of people who are invested in my journey since the beginning. They engage with my content, and when it was time that they needed help, I helped them. And that's exactly how it works. Real networking is about building genuine connections and long-term relationship inside and outside of your company. If you do it right, you can get access to hidden job markets, you can fast track your interviews, and even insider information on the skills that you need to learn and skills that you need to avoid, which might be getting outdated. Every dramatic opportunity in my life that I've got, which changed something in my life, have come from people and not from applying jobs on Naukri or LinkedIn. So it's that powerful. And another point I want to make is, do not limit your networking just within your field. Try to speak to people who are even outside of your expertise area, outside of your field, the role in which you are doing job. Try to network with them as well, because you never know when life has a different plan for you, and you might want to explore other field as well. And at that time, those people, those friends, those network connections will come really handy. So do not ignore somebody just because the person is from a field which sounds very irrelevant for your existing work. For example, if you are working in IT but your neighbor is into totally different thing, is doing some random business but is earning well, but you keep ignoring that person thinking, oh, I am working on some high level profile, this person is too local to be a friend. Do not carry that mindset. I am telling you this because I have seen people doing it. So do not do that. When your company lays you off from that prestigious high profile, then you will have nowhere to go. And that neighbor can then help you in a big way. Do not belittle anybody thinking that you are any better than them. Grab every networking opportunity that you get, be it your field, be it some other field. Our next point is financial literacy. What is the point of earning more money if you do not know how to use that money to build something even bigger? This point is the real reason why people, even after earning high packages, go broke when they are laid off, or when they somehow are not able to do the job. This is the real reason, because I have seen people who are working at very high packages but still living paycheck to paycheck. It's not about knowing all the financial terms. It's also not about being a master of stock exchange and all of that stuff. But it's very important to know how to put your money, your existing money that you're getting, how to put that money into use so that that money is generating you more money. Because you have very limited hours in a day. You can work only that many hours or till that many years. What after that? I mean, if you do not plan your life in this way, then even if you work till the day you die, you'll not be financially free. You will not be financially free, and you will live your life on the mercy of these companies. The day these companies decide that they do not need you anymore, your life will crash. So start with saving, budgeting, investing, and understanding how to put your money to use. Remember, money doesn't respect degrees. Money doesn't respect degrees, it respects strategy. If you learn this, you will stop feeling being trapped by the companies, and you will work because you want to work. You will not work because you have to. And if you want further context, more details about how to become financially free, how to plan for it, what the mindset should be, then give this video a watch. I've done this video sometime back on my channel. I have not come across a single viewer who said this video wasn't helpful for them or it wasn't life changing for them. So watch it after this video, you might find it helpful. And the next and my favorite skill on this list is emotional regulation. This is your silent superpower. In tough situations at work, for example, toxic manager, last minute layoffs, escalations, unbearable targets, the ability to stay calm, clear, intentional will set you apart, because majority of people react emotionally, aggressively in all these scenarios. You will feel bad. I'm not saying that these are good situations and you feel happy about it. I'm just here to tell you that how you regulate your emotions in these scenarios, in tough scenarios, will give you that edge, will highlight you among others as a leader, as somebody who can do it well. So, people with good emotional regulation do not burn the bridges, they do not ruin the relationships on the name of the stress. I'll give you one example. Say you have very good job and you have good relationship with your manager, and from past few days you sense that there's something off, and one fine day you see a meeting invite without any subject line, without any context on your calendar, and your manager informs you that they have to let you go. And in that very moment you get aggressive and you won't answer that why you, there are other people in the team who are not performing, who never did their best, why they are not going, why you are going, and you ruin your rapport with your manager. Anyway, now you will leave, but the relationship that you had with your manager, which you nurtured for so long and you learned so much from that person, now that's ruined because you couldn't regulate your emotion well. If you thought critically in that moment, you would know that that lay of decisions doesn't come from your manager. He's nobody to decide that. These decisions are made in boardrooms. You don't know yet. Your manager might be the next person in the lay of queue. He might be the next person to lead the company. And in such scenarios, if you handle the situation well, your manager would hire you again in another company once you leave this company. So you never know. So emotional regulation is very important. And that's why these good terms, critical thinking and all plays a huge role in your success. And these are real skills. These are not some good words. And trust me on this particular skill can save your career multiple times. And you do not have to feel overwhelmed by thinking, oh my god, how will I jump onto 7 skills and master them? Pick one skill, give it 90 days of time to learn, and then reflect what did you learn, how far you have come, take feedback, improve, and then once you're comfortable with that skill, move on to the next one and repeat the cycle. And I promise you, the compound effect of learning these skills, mastering these skills, will transform your confidence, your career, and your bank balance. So that was it, guys. I really hope you liked today's video's content, and if you did, make sure that you share it with others as well who need to hear it, and do leave your feedback in the comments so that I at least know that you are liking the content that I'm bringing on this channel, and it would motivate me to add more and more value on this channel. And with that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries, and I will see you in my next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.